Becoming emotionally triggered, if you're someone who has ADHD, is something that can happen from time to time. And this can really impact interpersonal relationships. When you're someone who has ADHD, you're naturally more emotionally sensitive. So if something upsets you in a big way, you're going to feel those emotions fairly intensely. And when you're in a triggered state, if you're trying to communicate with someone while you're in this state, it can be very off-putting to the other person. Either they won't understand why you're so emotionally triggered, they might be very put off by your level of anger or your level of emotional intensity, they might want to distance themselves, they might want to fight to help you see their perspective. It can really do you a disservice if you're not very good at managing these triggers and being really aware of them. When someone has ADHD, it's good to know that you are someone who's probably from time to time going to get more emotionally triggered than your average person. And if you know that that is the case for you, it's good to step back after you've been emotionally triggered, reflect, repair, let your ego go, try to see the other person's perspective. The good thing about people with ADHD is they're usually very empathic because they are emotionally sensitive, so they're good at apologizing. However, being able to spot when you're getting triggered and knowing not to communicate in those moments and really trying not to communicate in those moments can be very challenging, because it feels so important to you because it's your emotions and your emotions are valid. They're trying to guide you. And often when people are so emotionally triggered, it's because someone has done something wrong and that person would benefit from having feedback about how their behavior has impacted you. But it's good for you to be aware of the impact of your emotional triggers on other people and why this might impact your relationships, and in some cases even ruin your relationships, ruin your chances of having romantic relationships, ruin other relationships in your life, unless you're dealing with a partner or a friend or a loved one who is highly patient, highly empathic. Being able to recognize that although your emotions are probably very valid depending on the situation, that your emotional triggers can be very off-putting for other people, and this is where it can impact your interpersonal relationships. We do coaching at my company Private Therapy Clinic, and we also prescribe medication where it's appropriate. Get in touch if you might be interested in some support for your ADHD.